dear learners. In this session, we will discuss what is problem solving. Myself, Professor Bharti Dogra from School of Education, IGNOU. Now, what all is expected of this session? In this session, we will discuss what do we mean by problem solving, what are the different steps in problem solving, and also some important skills for finding a solution of a problem. First of all, what is a problem? Many times we face a problem. Problem could be why is it so, when will this take place, where is it, it might start with what, how, which, whom and who. So problem can start with any of these words: why, when, where, what, how, which, whom and who. And it's very common, we come across a number of problems and we resolve also. Sometimes we find the solution very fast and sometimes it takes some time. There are problems, you must have done problems in different disciplines also, in sciences, in mathematics. So problems are given, problems are faced, and we try to find a solution of the problem. So let us now today discuss what are the different steps, what process we follow to solve the problem, to find a solution of the problem. What is problem solving? Now, problem solving is the process of, first of all, you must become aware of the problem, that there is a problem. So identifying a problem, and once I become aware of the problem, then developing possible solution paths. What are the different options available? And then taking the appropriate course of action. So out of the various probable solutions, which one to choose and why to choose, and then after the selection of a particular solution, then what course of action to be taken. This is what is problem solving. What does problem solving look like? Now, if you see this figure, you find that there are some steps in problem solving. First, defining it, analyzing it, weighing the options, coming to action, and the last part is monitoring. Now, suppose I want to travel to a place called Asthana, which is in Tajikistan. Now, when I want to travel to this place, this is my problem. I have to travel to the place. How to travel? What are the various options available? So this comes in the analysis part, that is second part. Defining means what is my problem. Then I come to the analysis. What are the different options available? So options are, I can travel by road, I can travel by, if I am traveling by road, I have an option to travel by bus, I have an option to travel by car, I can travel by air, I can also travel by sea. So these are the different options available. Now, what will be my criteria for choosing a particular option? First of all, if I don't have many holidays with me, or if I don't have vacation option for me, or if I don't have any leave to be taken, so I would like to finish my journey within a shorter duration. So then in that case, the time duration becomes one factor for deciding the mode of transportation, for deciding how to travel. Or second could be the cost also, because if I go for a particular option, some cost is attached. So I have to do a comparison that how much money will be spent in case I go by air, how much I will spend when I take the sea option, and how much money will be spent by me for myself or maybe for family members in case I am traveling with my family, in case I travel in a bus, or in case I travel by my car. So second criteria is the cost. Third could be, when I want to travel, I want to see the places around Asthana, I want to see other places also. So I want to see the surrounding areas. This could be another criteria for me to decide how to travel. Or if I don't want to see the surrounding areas, I straight away want to visit this place. So this is another factor. If I am traveling with the family members, I have to see their preferences also. that whether they prefer to travel by air or they want to travel through sea or by road. So, there may be a number of criteria for deciding the mode of traveling. Then these are the options. I have to weigh the options. I have to see that how I will be comfortable, which one is the pocket friendly option, which one will make me more comfortable in terms of the time, in terms of my commitment to work and my other commitments I can also balance. So, after weighing the options and after thinking that this one is the most important, so on the basis of that I will make some decision and then that will be implemented, also put into practice. The last step in problem solving is monitoring. Monitoring means it is quite possible that I might take a decision as step number 3, but when I implement, I find that there were certain miscalculations. There were certain consequences which I could not anticipate. But after implementation, after taking the decision, I find that these were the points which I could never anticipate, and now I find that I am in a little uncomfortable situation because of factors which were never foreseen. So, at the monitoring stage, I have an option that in case I am not comfortable, in case I am not happy with the decision which I have taken, I can always go back, or I can always change my decision. So, at the monitoring stage, before reaching the destination or before actually suffering from the some effects, undesirable effects of my decision or my miscalculation, I have an option to go back and take another decision, or if possible to modify my decision or to make some changes at that stage only. So, learners, in this manner we have 5 stages: defining the problem, where I become aware of the problem, that there is a problem for which I have to find a solution, and then analyzing it, breaking it into its different components, viewing it in totality, viewing it from different aspects, then finding out the options which I have, and then thinking about each option, whether it is good for me or what will happen in case I take this decision. And then after thinking about all the options and consequences and their merits, finally the best alternative or the best option is I am putting it into action, and then monitoring is also done in case some wrong decision is taken or in case some miscalculation is done. Still I have an opportunity to modify it or to go back and then take the decision again, so that I am comfortable, I am happy with my decision. Now here after taking this particular example, I would like to give you more examples for your better understanding. Suppose I am baking a cake. I bake a cake and I find that the cake is not very soft and fluffy, rather it is dense. So, I am not happy and I want to solve this problem. That my problem is, why is my baked cake is dense? Why is it not soft and spongy? Why is it not fluffy? So, this is my problem. Now, I have to find a solution. I have to find the root cause of the problem, and I have to try my best that this problem is resolved, and next time whenever I bake a cake, it is spongy and very soft. You must have done the baking of a cake at home, and then the steps which we the process of baking a cake. So, I feel that when the baking was done, the reason could be that when I mixed the butter and sugar, the mixing was not done properly, because we have to beat it for a very long time. And one reason could be that when I was beating butter and the sugar, it was not done for a sufficient for sufficient time, and that is why the cake is very dense. Or the second reason could be that I have added too much of flour, because flour has gluten, and because of the gluten this cake the cake is not rising up. This could be reason number 2. So in case I have done this, next time whenever I have to bake a cake, I have to keep in mind that right quantity of the wheat flour, or the flour which I am using, or the cake flour which I am using, that should be used. Third thing could be that when I was keeping it for baking purpose, my oven was not preheated for 20 minutes, because according to the recipe the oven must be preheated for 20 minutes and then only the cake can rise nicely. So maybe I think I forgot to keep it for preheating for 20 minutes, maybe it was lesser than 20 minutes, 10 minutes. So I have to go back and I have to think about it, that what was the reason for the dense kind of a cake which I am getting. And after analyzing the whole situation, I find that the beating of the sugar and the butter was not done properly. That means the batter was not prepared properly for the cake. And then I realized my problem. I realized that this step should be done properly. And after that, when I make the cake again, I take care that proper beating of the batter is done. Why is it required? Why do we need to mix it properly? So that the sufficient air can get in the batter, and therefore the cake rises up easily. So now I put it into action whenever I prepare the cake next time, and I monitor it also. Time to time I monitor that all the steps are taken properly. In case something is missing or something is not done properly, I can always take an action. So I have taken very simple example for you, so that these are some problems which we face in daily life, and this is how the problem solving is done. Now let me take another case where you decide to use your terrace for setting up a garden. You want to set up a garden on your terrace. So this is your problem, that how to set up a terrace garden. So first of all, you have to think that whether you will be using soil for growing plants or you will be growing them in the pots. This is first thing. Second thing, I have to think about how to water them. Then I have to also plan which plants are to be grown. Am I growing vegetables? If I am growing vegetables, I have to select those vegetables which can grow very fast. Then keeping in mind the vegetables, I have to prepare the soil. Another point I have to keep in mind, that on the terrace, which are the areas where there is less sunlight and which are the areas where there is more sunlight. Because if there is too much of sunlight during summer, I have to provide a shade also to these plants. Then I have to also plan that waterproofing is to be done, because I am using the terrace. So if waterproofing is not done, then it can damage the building. Then you require some kind of insulation also. So while thinking of setting up a terrace garden, I have to think of the different areas which are to be focused, which steps to be taken, and if there is any problem, then how to resolve it. So then I take decision, I weigh all the options, that I have to grow my plants not on the terrace but rather in the pots. So this is a decision I have taken. and how to provide the shade, how to prepare the soil, how to provide the nutrients which are required, how to do the insulation, and how to waterproof, what water arrangements are to be made. So after weighing all the options, I take action, and in case at the monitoring stage I find that something is missing, or if there are certain pests, there are certain insects which are spoiling the vegetables, so then I have to take some kind of pesticide. All these steps, they are very important in the problem solving. Now after discussing these examples, let us see what are the steps. So first step is defining the problem, which we discussed, that becoming aware of it. That means what is the problem which you are trying to solve, and what is the purpose, what you want to achieve, and why. Analyzing the problem, analyze why the problem occurred, and then go deeper to understand the existing situation. If it is a product, you have made some kind of a product, and if it is not functioning properly, then assess factors like raw material, assembly line, and people involved to identify the problem areas. And this will help you figure out if the problem will persist or reoccur. You can measure the solution against existing factors to assess its future viability. Then weighing the options, because you have multiple options as solutions, and you think about each option or solution in detail. Implementing the best solution, implementing the best option, you consider the big picture when you are selecting the best option. Look at factors like how the solution will impact your budget, how soon you can implement it, and whether it can withstand setbacks or failures. If you need to make any tweaks or upgrades, make them happen in this stage. Monitoring, I told you that we can always, after implementing the decision, the best option, we can still, decide that whether it is moving in the right direction or not, and if it is not moving in the right direction, we have an option to modify or change our decision. These are some important skills for finding a solution. Communication, because we work as a member of a team, and when we work as a team, then we have to collaborate with each other, and it is quite obvious to have differences of opinion. So in that case, we need to listen, be attentive, and respond respectfully in order to successfully arrive at a solution. Research, as a problem solver, we need to research, we need to find the cause of the problem, in-depth analysis is required. Then we need to have analytical skills, that is, after conducting the research and identifying the factors causing the problem, we start working towards developing solutions. So analytical skills are very important. And decision making, making the decision. That's all for this session. So in this session, we have discussed what is problem solving and what is the problem, then the different steps in problem solving. We have also discussed some examples. We have also discussed some important skills required for problem solving. That's all for this session. In case you want to reach me, you can reach me at bharti.dogra@ignou.ac.in.